What's good? What's up with it? I'm making a video about being trans and why y'all niggas are so fucking annoying. Yeah, I'm a transgender person, right? What does that mean? That means that I was assigned the wrong gender at birth. That don't mean I was born in the wrong body. That means y'all niggas tried to put on me some shit that y'all made up. I don't hate myself. I don't hate the body that I'm in. I don't hate my face. I don't hate my teeth. I don't hate nothing about me. Just some things I would improve. That don't mean I hate nothing. But pretty much, I'm 6 days pre-T. So T minus 6 days. I'm really excited about it. Like, it's gonna be such a big relief, at least to just be able to start, you know, because it's like, obviously I've started my transition already because I'm getting my name changed. Shout out to the probate court. I got my date or whatever, so I'm getting my middle name changed. And I'm getting my gender marker changed on my license. I've already had my gender changed, recognized with the university I go to. I go to Howard University. And I've started, like, you know, I identify as he and him now, and I've been trying to work on me correcting people. And it's cool for like people I fuck with, you know what I'm saying, like my gang and my sisters and shit, and everybody in my corner like is pretty much on board with it, and like will fight for me and shit, and will really try to just stick up for me in certain situations. But it's really hard when it's just because, like, in the grand scheme of things, because it's like people interact with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and it's like I really try not to let little shit get to me. But it's like, I'm a person, you know, I have feelings, I have emotions, things affect me just like they affect you, and they just might not affect me in the same way. So it's like, you know, you might not think about it, but it gives me stress, like, to think that I have to go to like a party or something like that, and I have to talk to a bunch of people or meet a bunch of people I never met before, or talk to somebody I haven't talked to in a while. Because then it's like, I gotta explain all over again that I'm trans and that I want to identify as this, or I want to go throughout that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like exhausting to be interrogated at every turn. And it's not like, a lot of the times it's not bad interrogations, honestly. I would say like 70% of the time it's like just curiosity, and like, you know, somebody like, it's like curiosity, and it stems from a good heart, because a lot of people I know and a lot of people that fuck with me or whatever, just like they hear it and they just want to know more. Like, they're like, I want to understand your experience and stuff like that, and I completely get that. But you gotta understand, like, if that's every fucking person that you interact with on a daily basis, I mean, it pisses me off to have to go to parties, it pisses me off to have to go to the store, it pisses me off to have to go and just interact with multiple people all the time, because it's like I'm constantly having to correct people, I'm constantly having to explain myself, I'm constantly having to use examples so that somebody can fathom why I would want to live the way I live. And it's like, I get it, you know, communication is everything, but it's like, you don't want to have to do that all the time. It's exhausting, you know. And it's like I constantly have to objectify myself and my experience so that other people can understand, so that they can be comfortable with the knowledge, and it's annoying sometimes. But, you know, sometimes I just don't correct people, because it's like, it bothers me so much that I know it's just going to be too much of a hassle to even try to correct them, because it's like I correct them, they look at me dumb, I go, you used the wrong pronoun, and they're like, what do you mean? And then I have to explain my pronouns like he, him, and then they're like, oh, what do you mean by that? And then I gotta explain the whole fucking transgender spectrum, and then they think that, you know, LGBTQ is just, you know, an ongoing recipe that keeps adding itself, and you know what I'm saying? And I get it too, because, you know, a lot of people don't interact with the LGBTQ plus community on a daily basis, or even, you know, in any type of capacity. So they, you know, so they meet me and they're like, wow, a gay representative has come to court. Let's, you know, let's have a discussion. And then I'm like, damn, bitch, I gotta be a lawyer every day for y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying? And a nigga be tired, like, shit. And I'm a social butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all don't know me, I love talking to people. I love being around people. I love the whole idea of camaraderie and all of that shit. But it's a nigga has had enough. I'd be tired, you know. But I was just gonna talk about exactly why I'm transitioning. A lot of people just be like, why? I've known you for your whole life. Why? I've known you this, I know you that. And this is my answer. Why? Because, period. It's always, you know, you and your sister, Nikki Nally, right? And so it's like, oh, your sister's wearing a dress? Where's your dress at? Your sister's wearing heels? Where's your heels at? Your sister got lip gloss? Where the fuck your lip gloss at? And I don't fucking like lip gloss at all. So what does that mean? That don't mean I'm just a girl that don't like lip gloss. I knew I was trans because when I started writing in my journal, I have this journal I would write in every time I had a problem. And most of the time, a lot of the problems in the beginning when I had the journal were just about bitches. Because I love girls. I'm a romantic person. But I'm a trans person. So there's my hiccup, right? So it's very hard sometimes to understand girls and all of that. Girls don't even understand girls at this point. But, like, I used to write about that, but then I also used to write about things that I didn't like being pushed upon me. And I knew I was trans because I started hiding things that made me happy, right? Like, when I was real younger, I would buy boxers for myself, and I would only wear them, like, at night, as shorts and stuff. And I would always keep them in my dresser. But I would never let anybody see me, like, changing into them or see me, like, outright in them because I was scared that I was going to be, you know, yelled at or hit or, you know, reprimanded for wearing boxers. And then it started going into my shoes. I stopped wearing, like, flats and shit like that. And I would just go out of my way to, like, buy Chucks or, like, high tops, and I would just hide them. You know what I'm saying? And then I would start hiding that I wasn't wearing a bra. Like, I would always wear mad layers just so people couldn't tell I wasn't wearing a bra because I hated wearing a bra. And then I stopped wearing perfume, and I would, like, hide that I was wearing cologne or something like that. You know, like, just the little things that just made me happy. It made me feel better. It made me feel attractive. Made me feel like I was this, like, I was the shape that I wanted to be. Like, I was in the shell that I wanted to be. But this year, it really came to the forefront of my conscious that I was coping with living in a shell. And that was a lot for me because, like, I think of myself as an intellectual person, I would think. I only say that because I think a lot about thinking a lot. And that's really why I said that. I think a lot about thinking a lot. And I love thinking about shit. And, like, I love thinking about little things that connect to big things, and then big things that explain big things, and then, you know, histories and explanations and biographies and articles and journals and all that shit. Like, I love digging into something, tearing it apart, understanding it, and fucking regurgitating it out to anybody that would hear me, just because I love spreading knowledge and I love understanding things. And that's why I say I'm intellectual. But I was bombarded by the idea of being transgender just because it all hit me in one foul fucking swoop. I remember the day clear as it was fucking last night. I was literally laying with my girl. We were watching videos on Instagram of, like, haircuts and fades and shit, because that shit's so sexy to watch. I love it. Like, you know, y'all bitches be liking, you know, watching somebody do, like, a wash and go, or, like, you know, knotless braids, and it's just, like, you know, the precision, little, you know, the process, the delay, all of that. Very soothing. I don't do ASMR. That shit throws me off. But if I had to, I would listen to, like, you know, Anyway, I'll let y'all see my fresh cut. But I only say that because we were watching that, and this dude was getting his beard lined up all nice and crispy. It was like, you know, a little something here. So he was looking beautiful. I was like, wow, double tap. And my girl's like, You would look really good with a beard. And the moment she said that, clicked in my brain. It literally, I felt it written across my forehead in courier type. It said, "You're transgender." And I was like, y'all can ask her. I just started crying. I started crying so much because I felt like I finally learned the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like the points finally connected. I finally understood why I did certain things I did, or why I had the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I always felt like I was trying to dress up, you know, but I never really, I don't even know how to describe this. When people, if somebody asks you what you're gonna do in 5 years or what career you want, you kind of have a small image in your head about what you want to do. Like, oh, I want to be a doctor. You see yourself in a lab coat. Oh, I want to be a race car driver. You see yourself in the, you know, in the driver's seat. Oh, I want to be a pilot. You see yourself in the cockpit, and you see yourself in that uniform or whatever. But when people ask me what I want to be when I grow up, or ask me how I see myself, I physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of that, I can't see myself in my head. Like, I just don't see myself. I can't physically say that. Like, I know I can kind of estimate what my face will look like or what my hair will look. I can't see it. All I see is a silhouette, right? And I never thought that was weird. I always thought everybody did that. Like, I never had a mirror in my room because I didn't care for looking at myself all the time, because every time I looked at myself in the mirror, every time I still look at myself in the mirror, present, I can't, like, it surprises me, I would say. Like, I see myself and I'm like, who that? Like, it's like every time I see myself, it seems like something's different, or like, rather, it seems like I've never been able to recognize myself, you know? And not like I can't pick myself out in a crowd. Like, I know I have brown hair and green eyes and light skin, you know, a gap. Like, I know what I look like, but it's like I really can't recognize who I am if I think about it in my head. And I realized that in that moment, rather, because I'd always tried to think of myself in a female sphere, you know, like, I was like, okay, I'm drilled that I'm a girl, I'm supposed to be a girl, I'm supposed to look like a girl. I try to think about what I would look like as a girl, and all I could imagine is a silhouette, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I knew I was transgender, because I felt like, I don't know, we all don't ask for certain things, but just like, I felt like I was inside of something. I was like in a shell, right? And I was trying to connect myself to this shell so much. And I was trying to bond myself to this shell so much. I was trying to identify with this shell. But until she said that shit, I hadn't realized I was in a shell. You know, it like blew my mind. It popped my fucking bubble. I was like, wow, like, I didn't realize I was faking it till I made it. You know what I'm saying? And it made me cry because I just felt like I had so much taken from me, because I wasn't allowed to imagine myself in a happier shell or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, I don't know, like, if somebody asked me if I wanted to, like when I was younger, there would be, I always hated dressing up or like looking good, you know, like getting professional or wearing like a dress or, you know, formal wear, because I always wanted to wear a 3-piece suit. I swear, bro, like, I don't know the first time I saw a 3-piece suit, but the day I saw a 3-piece suit, I was like, I would look good as fucking that shit, bro. But I grew up a girl, you know, my mom always told me, girls don't wear suits, girls wear this, girls don't wear those kind of pants, girls wear this, you know what I'm saying? So it was always off limits. It was always something I wanted, and it was always off limits. It was always told, like, I cannot do this. I was drilled this. I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, to the point that it's like, I'm getting hit for looking like a girl. wearing boys' clothes. You know what I'm saying? I was hit by a car because someone thought that I was trying to dress like a boy. And I was, though. I was, obviously, I was, in the moment, I was female. I was a girl, and I was wearing boys' clothing, and I thought I was fine. I thought I looked great. I felt good. It was a good day. And they just, you know, they were like, no, like, why are you trying to dress like a boy? Like, you're trying to dress like a boy. Like, that's weird. That's disgusting. You're a girl. Like, you're a beautiful girl. All this other shit. You know what I'm saying? My whole life, everyone has always told me, you're a beautiful girl. Why don't you act like it? You're a beautiful girl. Why don't you do this? Why don't you wear that? Why don't you... all this other shit. But it's like, I've never felt like I've been a beautiful girl. I don't feel like, when I look myself in the face, I'm not like, this is a beautiful girl. I'm just like, this is a person. You know, like, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just say all that to say, when I realized that I was living in a shell and all the points came together, it just made so much sense. And I felt so much relief that I understood, but then I also felt so much burden because I realized what the situation was. Like, I was like, wow, like, I was happy because I realized why I was unhappy, but I was unhappy because I realized that I was unhappy, you know? And I've worked really hard in my life to get to where I am now. Like, I busted my ass to get to Howard. I busted my ass to stay at Howard. I busted my ass right now to be at Howard. I was whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? I busted my ass to get out of Cleveland, rather, you know? I busted my ass to get out of poverty. And all of that to say, like, I did all of that so that I could survive, you know? Like, I didn't want to stay, not even, no, let me not even say that. I did all that I could so that I could have the space to breathe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew if I stayed here, I wouldn't be happy because I would be getting, or like, I wouldn't be in the space to have the tools to do what I want to do. And I hated that, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a creative person, like, I'd say I'm an artist. Like, I draw, I play the guitar, I dance, all fun shit or whatever. But it's like, you're creative, you know what I'm saying? You want to create things, you want to do things, you want to, you come up with new shit all the time for no reason. And it's like, you need a space to be able to cultivate that, you know what I'm saying? And like, as like I said, I'm intellectual. I love reading. I love figuring things out. I love annotating. I love teaching. I love learning, you know what I'm saying? And this place here, Cleveland, Ohio, all it is, it doesn't allow you to be creative. It doesn't allow you to dream because you can't, because you're not, like, you're not thinking about living, you're just thinking about surviving, you know what I'm saying? And like, me living as a girl is what I had to do to survive. But now that I live in DC and I go to school there and I've seen what it's like, I've seen what it looks like to live, and I can't forget it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it looks like to have happiness on your face just because you're breathing and you're doing what you want to do, and I can't forget that shit. So it's not enough for me to just survive, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get you need water, you need food, you need shelter, and you need love to live and survive as a human being. But after you get all those things, after you measure that, you get leisure, and leisure makes you reflect, and reflecting is what life is. Reflecting on everything, building shit, you know what I'm saying? That's life. That's not surviving, because if not, we'd all be running around like fucking deer and groundhogs all the day trying to figure out what our next meal is. But we got past that, and so then it's like, okay, so what do you want to do to maximize your experience as a living person? And what I want to do to make it feel like I'm living and I'm not surviving, I want to transition. That's what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if one day, if I could just take off my shirt, show my chest to the world, run a fucking half marathon, and have a full-grown beard, and get a medal, and fucking tattoo it on my fucking chest and shit, that's living. But being coaxed up and having to wear a dress because somebody told you to, that's surviving. And I already had to do that. I didn't want to do it no more. I didn't want to put myself through that pain. So now I'm putting myself through more pain. Not more pain, different pain rather. Just so that I can live, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, like once you see what it's like to live, once you get a taste of living, you don't want to have to survive no more. That's on everybody. For real, because it's like once you're not in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? Once you're not surviving, you get a chance to live, and that's what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm transitioning. I don't want to have to feel like I need to survive anymore. I want to live.